Inspector Coleman, you're Inspector General for the Federal Reserve, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Have you done any investigation concerning the Federal Reserve's role in deciding not to save Lehman Brothers, which led to shockwaves that went through the entire financial system?
In that particular area, I don't feel like making comments on specific investigations, but we do not currently have an investigation in that particular area.
All right. What about the $1 trillion expansion of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet since last September? Have you conducted any investigations regarding that?
Well, right now, we call it a review and a term investigation. We're actually conducting a fairly high-level review of the various lending facilities collectively, which would include, the TOEs, the variety of different programs that are in process, so we're looking at them at a fairly high level to identify risks.
Well, I understand that, but we were talking about events that started unfolding 8 months ago. Have you reached any conclusions about the Fed expanding its balance sheet by over $1 trillion since last September?
We have not yet reached any conclusions.
Do you know who received that money?
We are in the process right now of doing our review and...
Right, but you're the Inspector General. My question specifically is, do you know who received that $1 trillion that the Fed extended and put on its balance sheet since last September? Do you know the identity of the recipients?
I do not know. We have not looked at that specific area at this particular point on those reviews.
What about Bloomberg's report that there are trillions of dollars in off-balance sheet transactions that the Federal Reserve has entered into since last September? Are you familiar with those off-balance sheet transactions?
Well, apparently I'm not.
So I'm asking you if your agency has in fact, according to Bloomberg, extended $9 trillion in credit, which by the way works out to $30,000 for every single man, woman, and child in this country. I'd like to know, if you're not responsible for investigating that, who is?
Would you mind repeating the question one more time?
What have you done to investigate the off-balance sheet transactions conducted by the Federal Reserve, which according to Bloomberg now totals $9 trillion in the last 8 months?
I'll have to look specifically at that Bloomberg article. I don't know if I have actually seen that particular one.
That's not the point. The question is, have you done any investigation or auditing of off-balance sheet transactions conducted by the Federal Reserve?
At this point, we're conducting our lending facility project at a fairly high level and have not gotten to a specific level of detail to really be in a position to respond to your question.
Have you conducted any investigation or auditing of the losses that the Federal Reserve has experienced on its lending since last September?
We are still in the process of conducting that review. Until we actually, go out and gather the information, I'm not in a position to really respond to this specific question.
So you were telling me that nobody at the Federal Reserve is keeping track on a regular basis of the losses that it incurs on what is now a $2 trillion portfolio?
I don't know if there are losses. I'm just saying. Until we actually look at the program and have the information, we are not in a position to say whether there are losses or to respond in any other way to that question.
Mr. Chairman, my time is up, but I have to tell you honestly, I am shocked to find out that nobody at the Federal Reserve, including the Inspector General, is keeping track of this.